women who are watching me, my friends on this channel, please take it easy. Feminism is just a word. It is just a word that was invented by somebody. We are all one, both men and women, we're all together. Let us balance. Let us not continue giving the men the strength to take over us and to empower and to power us over. If you let only men help you grow, then it will not work. That is how you find that the men are still powerful more than the women. So please, chill. Let us be friends. Let us not only be people who are posting things of, oh, this woman, this, oh, women, this, oh, women, that, women, that. That is also bringing women down. Just laugh and balance. Today good, today bad. Today good, today bad. Today good, today bad. Not every day you are just on your post, oh, women this, oh, some women that, oh, women this, oh, women this, oh, women that, women that, women that. Balance things, man. Say some positive things about them, say some negative things about them. Positive, negative. It's okay. That way you balance. But also if you're just a positive woman, you are a feminist, positive, then you're those ones where I say they are worshipping women and they're trying to impress. And they impress us. Impress.com. Impress now.
Lobelanga siplio lingakanga pasia bolingo balimbisaka maloba kasi na motema etikalaka elembo.
I've said it.
Number 1 Kenya mzima, East Africa, mambo ni hapa, kila kitu ni tamu zaidi.
Why is it that when a woman pinpoints something that another woman is doing wrong, then some blinded people come, people who believe in fake feminism, start and are like, oh, a woman is destroying another woman, oh, a woman this, a woman that. Who said, or where is it written, that only men should criticize women, only men should teach women, only men should pinpoint wrongs on women? Who said that? So if you see a woman doing something wrong that is affecting all of us, or most of the people, especially the poor people who have no voice, then me as a woman, I should wait until a man sees it to criticize it or to talk about it or to bring the matter in the front, to the public so that something is done. So you wait, people will die, people will commit suicide out of stress, people will die in poverty, people will do that because you as a woman cannot just come forward and stop another woman, or at least wake up another woman or other women or other people. That is not right. We cannot move like that. Me, in my culture Luo, in my tribe Luo, there is a saying that goes that ngamoheri imakweri, which means the person who loves you, who wants good for you, is the one who corrects you. So it's up to you how you take it. But in most cases, if somebody wastes their time and takes their time, their precious time, to pinpoint something wrong on you, then you should just, I know it comes as painful, but please just take time to digest it. After digesting it 2 or 3 days, come back and you'll find that she just loved you. That is why she did that for you. Not every criticism is meant negative, especially these ones that we do in public. Tomorrow it will be me, tomorrow another person, tomorrow another person. The world goes around. You don't remain on the same point. You can go down today, tomorrow you're up. You can slide today, tomorrow you're up. We are all in this world and it goes around. We all know that. So there's no way somebody is always going to stay up there and somebody down here. We all have the same opportunities. Only some of us are denied the opportunities by people who are silent, who know they can help you, but they're silent. Because you're not their relative, they can't help you. Because you're not their sister, they can't help you. You know, because you're not in their church, they cannot help you. We should all be capable of correcting one another in a good way, not to hurt somebody. When speaking, pinpointing a wrong, try to find good words, okay? So that the person or the people you're trying to correct or you're trying to tell to change, get your words in a positive manner. So there's a difference between positive criticism and jealous criticism, okay? Everybody has got their lanes, but in these lanes, for you to stand in your lane, somebody else somewhere, maybe an admirer or whoever, must pinpoint some things that maybe you're doing wrong or right. Appreciate the right, pinpoint the wrong, and bring them forth. Me as a person, I'm not perfect at all. But for me to survive and grow, you have to take everything positive sometimes. Take it positive and turn it into your story. That is me. See what's wrong with you. See what you've done wrong. You know, change things, what you can change. But the rest, if you saw that somebody was unfair to you, talk to them. If they don't give you the opportunity to talk it out, then just tell it to your story. So this issue of, oh, you're judging, oh, you are this, oh, you are jealous, oh, I beg. Everybody has their lane. Everybody has their fate. Everybody's life was already drawn in a different way. Everybody. You cannot succeed in a thing that is not yours. The devil can lie to you that you're doing right and you're doing wrong because you think you're getting enough money out of it. And this church business, we will talk about it even if you don't want us to talk about it. Church business is not wrong. The worshippers, the people who follow the flock, are the ones who should open up their minds and see whether they are in a church that is doing church business or a church that is real. But you know, in the Bible, it's written, people who gather together and pray, that is already a church. So you don't have to go in a building or to follow somebody or to link up us to know that you're in a church. The traditional churches are anyway there. We have Anglican churches, we have Catholic churches that are traditional, that are from the days we were born, that our parents brought us up in. Why do you grow up and then you run somewhere else thinking that the church that brought up your grandmother, your great-grandmother, and your mother is not right? You think that you want to get richer faster. Somebody else is preaching prosperity. Somebody else is preaching money. Somebody else is preaching cars. That your church that brought up your great-grandmother and your grandmother and your ancestors, for you in your eyes, isn't bringing. You're running to plant seeds. You plant seeds at the end of the day. Where you're planting the seed is growing on that particular place, but not on the other parts of the garden. The other parts of the garden is only full of weeds. But where you bring the plant, the seed to be planted, in that hand where you bring the money, it is growing. It is growing day in, day out with oracles. Oracle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My people. These money preachers, these prosperity preachers, these riches preachers, these ones who hide under the umbrella of God is not poor, God is a rich God. Nobody in this world said that if you're a Christian or you're saved or you're a believer and you want to show everybody that you should be dirty. Nobody said that. Even God, Jesus himself was fashionable. He wore nice, these open shoes that are nowadays on market. You know, these sandals that are very expensive. Even his robe is nice. Nowadays I see Nigerians and West Africans covering themselves like that, and the Ghanaians. Even the Muslims, they dress in this long thing, just like Jesus. So nobody ever said, and he had long hair, as according to the drama we saw, the movies. Which means for the hair to grow, there was some drinking of water in there was some food being eaten, and he was living a healthy life. So there's nobody who has ever said that God is a poor God, that you should, to prove to people that you are a godly person, you should be poor. At the same time, there's nobody who ever said, or who wants, that's why I am defying with the people who are trying to preach for us that we have to be an example to the congregation as a pastor. You have to drive 8 cars, 10 cars. You have to show the people that God is a rich God. If you believe in him, he'll give you 10 cars. I beg, cars. Cars, people die in cars every day out here. Accidents every day. Those are just things that are vanity. Vanity. We should be preaching about positivity, encouraging people's hearts. People who have given up in maybe looking for jobs, people who have given up in what, and then with your contacts as a pastor, help your congregation to get jobs. Find them, create jobs for them. You know, not the life of living as an example with cars and even abusing, as you know, abusing the culture of priests. Real priests really take their time to be a good example by going to school and then going to study theology and then taking so many years in these colleges, doing practicals, going to the villages to do internship in churches in remote areas. For them to be ordained, for them to wear that collar, this collar that real preachers, not just preachers, but pastors, people who have gone through the right channel, apart from God giving them the mission and the anointing, that's the first thing that you get, anointing and the salvation. After that, now you follow the right channel. By going to school, reading the Bible, doing Bible study, being like counseled and your hand is held by people who are experienced, like that. Until you graduate and you get ordained and you go for all those, you know, you start small. And then that is when, at the day of ordaining, when the preachers, the pastors graduate, and the bishops, the real bishops, go and touch their heads and introduce them to the clergy and give them the first divine, the sacrament. That is when you get this collar, this long white thing. Actually, pastors, they get only a small one, a box here, just a box here. And then bishops, they have the full one. And the deacons, they have also a full one. But now when you're giving your bodyguards and your PA a collar to wear, that is abusing that area. It is just not right. And then somebody wants to tell me not to talk about it. We are lying to ourselves. We are lying to ourselves. The reason why most of us, especially us in the diaspora, why we just decided to pray at home. You know, God is with me, and that is why I wake up every morning, or at least twice a week, to come to you and talk with you here. If I was so much of a sinner, worse than you, I would not be here today. Even though I don't go to church here in the diaspora, I pray and I talk to my God. Our God is created all of us. And he only said in the Bible, according to me, according to what I read, that if you pray through my son Jesus Christ as a Christian, I'm not talking about the Muslims, them they know how the madrasa brought them up, okay? So I can't talk on their behalf. I can also not talk about the Catholic, because I'm not a Catholic. But me as an Anglican, I was brought up knowing that I only have to pray through Jesus Christ our Lord. So God only wants you to go through his son, finished business. So I can do that even in my house. I just make sure there's peaceful where I am so that God notices that I need him there. I call upon him in that quiet room. And then I kneel down, or I do whatever I do, or I stand still and call on him, pray, ask him to help me, because he already knows anyway what's in my heart. I just sincerely thank him and tell him my wishes for the day or for the future. And then I say, in Jesus' holy name I pray, amen. And to add on, I simply do the Lord's Prayer, which is clearly written in the Bible. The Lord's Prayer, he taught it to us, and the grace. It's just that simple. And then believe. There's nothing you're going to do, don't sacrifice, you plant seeds, you what. Those things you can do from your heart. If you want to go do them in a church, you can do them in any church. But there's no way somebody is going to make you their slave, because they're living a lavish life and they feel that you're admiring their life, and so they're telling you you have to follow their channel to get to God, that they're praying on your behalf. It's about attracting needy and desperate people who want to be like the people on Instagram, people who want to be like the leaders who fly around with choppers. They're so desperate to be that. They don't see any other part of their lives except these riches, this lavishness. Prosperity, riches, blessings, miracles. Sorry to say, not in a bad way, I respect these pastors because they're human beings, and for them to prosper the way they prosper, they're good at something, which is business. They're good at convincing people, they have a voice, and they know business, which is the best part of it. The only problem is that they're using the name of God in such a broad way to rob off people the little they have. That is the problem. Otherwise, their business, mwah. Otherwise, their capabilities to stand and to encourage people, mwah, perfect. And I applaud them for that. Look at Dr. Woor, Prophet Woor. He started, most of his folk are widows, disparate women and men who have come deep from the village. They follow him to wherever he goes, deep from the village. I have some in my family. People who are just okay. People who are just fine. Suddenly they got into some stress, and somebody else convinced them that the only person who can help them come out of their stresses is that guy. So they sold their clothes, they sold their fashion, they sold everything they had in disparity, and started wearing those long things. Yet the person who is leading you has dreadlocks, has nice beard, dresses well, and you have been reduced to dressing, covering. I mean, the life God has given you in this world, to also just enjoy the fashion like any other person, to wear something, jeans, to wear a jacket, to go with the trend. These things, everybody is given their lanes. That is why there are designers who design these clothes that we wear. Mtumba comes to the villages, to Kenya. The Mtumbas from abroad, they come there because somebody else somewhere was given the strength or the capability of bringing those things to you. So you dress and also enjoy and just be you. There's nobody who knows whether we have heaven or we have hell or I don't know, or there's another life. Nobody has ever died and come back to tell us what it is. So why don't you just live your life? You are busy worshiping a human being and following them promptly. They are living a life that you can never afford. They are going for world travels and living in best hotels and doing what you call what? These things they go into, they book like a resort and then they say that they are in a conference for the church or they what? You know, they're enjoying life totally. And you are wasting your whole precious life that somebody gave you. You're already a result of sin. You're already a sin by birth. Why don't you start by telling your mother, why did you get pregnant for me? Because already that's a sin. Now, why do you want to pretend your whole life? Pretend that you live a holy life because you're following a person who has never died to come and tell you whether there's heaven or not. Hey, for real. Then you ask yourself, why are those people who I think are sinners, they're always just living a good life? Why are the thieves? They are still living a good life. Why are those Kina Beyonce who I think they are, I don't know, Illuminati, they're still living a good life? Why is it that the people who do this are still living a good life? Why is it that these people who are indulged, are always involved in stories of, I don't know what those bad things, they're still waking up in the morning? Why doesn't God take those ones, those I feel are sinners? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, God, why is it that me who is reading your Bible every day, I'm the one who is having no food? And that person who is on the disco 24 hours a day, every day she's out doing her life in a club, she's alive every day. Why now? Have you asked yourself that? Let's not lie to one another. Live your life individually. Me personally, as Terry, I believe that prayer is energy. God is a spirit. And he says, worship me in spirit and in truth. It's energy in you. He lives in you. God is already in you. God doesn't live in somebody else's household. God doesn't live in that pastor's house and not in your house. God lives in you. That is why it said, your body is the temple of God. Which part of a temple that don't you understand? Your body is the temple of God. Which means if your body is the temple of God, he lives in you. That is why you hear the voices that go with you left, right, center. He lives in you. It is just you to make this temple happy, to make this temple clean, to feed this temple, to wash it, clean it, dress it well, paint it, do what? And then believe in that soul, the voice in you. That voice in you is God. You walk with him 24 hours a day. Only at times when you doubt him and you allow the devil to take that position, that is when he disappears. Because it's a spirit. He can move from left to right. But he is a spirit. And that's why he's not a human like you that you can now start arguing with me that God is a solid human. That he's only at one point. So we have to go and worship him there. He is a spirit. He can divide himself into 1,000,000 or into 10 or into 50 and be at one place at different places at the same time. He is a spirit. What don't you understand in spirit, my people? Spirit. Spirit. Spirit is energy. Positive energy. He is a spirit. He is with me here and he is with you there. So why do you have to follow somebody who has their own lifestyle and are enjoying their lifestyle truly? Don't you know that sometimes they do you all those things they do, then they go back and pray to God and say, God, I know I am a sinner. I know people are following me thinking that I am carrying you in me. But Lord, I know I'm carrying you in me for me. That is just that blessing you gave me, that talent you gave me of bringing vlog, the talent you gave me of doing business, and I'm using it well, Jehovah. Please forgive me. And she's forgiven now. God is looking at her because she's truthful. What she can do best, she's doing. She's doing what she can do best. She cannot be punished for you. Hello? You are the one who is worshiping a human being. So you're the one who gets the punishment. You keep getting poor. You keep having problems. You keep having problems, bills, and what. Your pastor, she cannot be the person who is carrying your cross or making decisions for you. If you decide to follow her and to go to her church, it's your problem now. It's your problem. She's just doing her business. If you decide to follow, it's a problem. Because God says, do not worship any other God but me. And he already says that, why don't you stick to yourself? And pray within yourself. You want to go to church, go to a church. But know that you're going there as you yourself, not because of a pastor. You get me? So it's you to decide. Me, let me tell you why. Tell you why I decided to stop going to church here in the diaspora. In Kenya, when I'm in Kenya, let me not say just Kenya in general. In Kenya, where I was brought up, if I happen to be there on a Sunday, I'll go to St. John's Church in Kenya, Anglican Church ACK. And that is the church that I will contribute to. If they want to like renovate, I will fight for them and do everything I can. I've done that before and I'll keep doing it. That is the church that makes my mother smile. And my mother is my life. But here, you know why I stopped going to church? I used to go to church. There's a time I was suffering and I thought, you can only get help from church. So I used to go to this West African church here in Hamburg. In Hamburg, there are a lot of West African churches because they started business long time ago. But you know, as you go, as a new sheep going to look for a shepherd, you go full of problems in your heart. You go believing that God is there and they're going to help you in the prayers, they're going to help you in wherever. You're going with your whole heart. Then I started realizing that there was a difference between that church and the church I knew. In my church in Nia, we have the offerings, the daily offerings, the Sunday offerings, the sadaka, we say it, we call it sadaka. And this sadaka is, you pay it once, okay? The time for sadaka is the time that the choir is singing and they're collecting sadaka. Sometimes the baskets are in the front there, then you walk and give. But sometimes we have the sadaka people, they walk with those baskets and you put what you have inside. You don't have to give what you don't have, only what you have. And the Catholics, as I knew that time, the Catholics would give anything they have, not just money. Maize, bread, what? Because from that, maybe the pastors will sell them or give them to the poor around there, you know, just offering. Because this offering is supposed to be to God. But of course, money had to be there because the house of God where we were meeting on that Sunday must be maintained. There are cobwebs, somebody must clean it. Sometimes there are some cracks must be sealed. And people who seal these things must be paid. So that is why you have to pay something. Give the offering to God, not for him to have party with it, but for the church to be maintained. The cleaners to be paid. If mothers are traveling somewhere or kids are traveling somewhere, Sunday school, a bus can be hired for them and, you know, such things. So that is from the heart and it's openly clean. But in this West African church, you'd go there, even if you go at 5 minutes to the end of the church, you'll have to pay the offering. It's a must. It's like it is a fee of going to that church every Sunday. Even when you think, let me go after the offering because me just want to go and join in the prayer, you will find somebody waiting for you at the door and you have to pay the offering. And before the pastor closes the session, he'll be saying, yeah, those who have not paid offering today, do this. Apart from the offering, there was also the planting of the seed, and it was every Sunday. Me, I only went on Sundays. There are people who went, I don't know, midday, weekday, afternoon, what, those ones who they knew. Me, I only went on Sunday. But the planting of seed was too much. You people, I planted seed until I got broke. And they're innocently telling you, yeah, talk to God first, tell God what you want. Then you have to plant seed on it because there's nothing, you cannot reap where you have not sown. Okay, so you start imagining the garden at home in the village, that maize plantation of your mother, the banana plantation, beans, you know, and you say, you realize the reality there and you say, ooh, and yeah, if you don't go plant maize in the morning with your mom or with your grandma, then really during harvest, your garden will be dead. So you imagine that way because you are so blinded, you're not seeing with your inner eyes, you're seeing with your outer eyes. I planted seed. And mostly the seed I was planting, I can assure you, I was asking for a man. This man, I've not seen him to date. I've not seen that man. I planted seed, oh. Hey, I planted seed. Mina, hey. I planted seed until one day somebody told me, you know what, you want to just give 5 euros, 5 euros. Increase your price now. One day I closed my eyes, I swear, and I gave 100 euro. 100 euros, 10,000 Kenyan shillings. Hey, the money that people who need this money at home, mainly. Hey, and at that time I was giving 100 euros. I didn't even have a place to stay. Because I believe that in the Bible it's written that woman gave Jesus everything she had. So I said, let me be this woman today. Kumbe, I don't know that in my energy inside is still remaining. I'm doubting. I'm testing God. I never saw. So what chased me out of that church is one day the pastor was a Ghanaian. He stood on the pulpit with all the courage and told us, you want to know why I'm a good businessman? Look, when I go to the US to visit my sons, you still come to church. Not everybody got the point. Not everybody was keen enough to listen. I listened properly sometimes. And I got the words as they were raw. If you want to know why I'm a good businessman, he was preaching about business. When I go to the US to visit my sons, you still come to church. And it's true. He used to travel. We go to church on Sunday and he's not there. His wife is there, or just people. And the church is full and seeds are being planted. And every Sunday, he brings a man from their country, from Ghana or wherever, with books. Pastors who have written books. These books, we have to buy them. We don't buy them on the price of their prices, but he's convincing you to add more, you buy books. After that, you will pay for the flight back for this man. You pay for his hotel. Harambe is being done. Fundraising is being done in this church indirectly. By the time you leave church, the only thing I could afford is that they were selling some kaimatis. There were these mandazis that are round and the cover is really deep fried. That is all I could afford. I carry and go. You are going empty because it is not reality. So it's about belief. If you came there and planted the seed and you believe really is going to help you and you're positive, then it helps. But if you know you are really desperate, you are in problems, you only came there to solve your problem, it doesn't work. Because God is in every of us. You can change ourselves. Like God will give you the procedure of how to change yourself. When you pray and you come out of a prayer and you believe and you've cried your tears out, you finish your prayer, you feel like you've been relieved. It is you who has changed, not God. That is why I stopped going to those churches. I have not seen that man I planted seed for up to date. Nowhere. God gave me other ways that I was trying to go around. I was trying to follow people. I was trying to do what? Oh, God told me the long road is yours. You just plant seed now. Plant seed, but you're going to suffer the long way. I went through the long way, the long road. God did not give me or offer me the shortcut because I was planting seeds. And the person I was planting seeds at, I was just hearing, flew to the US. Maybe even that visa, I didn't have it. US, London, preaching in London. Now we have, he comes and announces to us that now our sessions, our church sessions are going to be streamed live on a TV channel called, I don't know, Ben what in London. He's making us his business. He's making videos for a live TV, a live channel like this, Kina DSTV in London. Through us. We are there, we are happy we are going to be seen on TV. Who is gaining from that TV? Is it not him? And us, we are the people who are making the production. We are the folk. We are the... And then again, we go home and start watching it because it announces to us it will be shown at this particular time. When you watch a TV show, the quotation, or what do you call it? The people who gain are the people who give the productions, because once you watch it more, the TV channel will pay. Apart from the fact that I don't go to church, I have my traditional church, that will bury me. I hope they will bury me. I hope so. I hope they won't leave me in the dark, because when you die, of course, you need a pastor to come and throw some water and throw some soil. I need that. But don't leave me St. John's Church near. Team Nama Bear, Yesu Team Nakendo.
Proud chocolates.
Finished business.